Storytime / current events. If you are a parent or an educator, be prepared to just pick your jaw off the floor with this one. This is a story about a little girl and her dad and a billion-dollar cult, Scientology. Hey, I'm Liz Gale, your friendly and messy third-generation ex-Scientologist, and no, this story is not about me. And technically, this is not my story to tell other than it is playing out on the public sphere, and I really care about this person. I think that this story is not only a wild ride, but it is important for people to hear. So, let's start at the beginning. This is LaraFM. She is an ex-Scientologist. She grew up in Scientology's C organization. That means that her parents had signed billion-year contracts, and when she was born, they were basically in servitude. She was taken away from them and raised in a dormitory-style environment. She's talked a lot about that on her channel here. This is her YouTube. Pretty much everything I'm talking about today, she talks about way more from her own words, so go over there, give her a listen, a follow, all the things. In addition to her original music, LaraFM also protests Scientology at Big Blue. So she lives in Los Angeles, and there's a huge compound there called Big Blue, because it used to be a hospital, and there's all these other buildings there, and everything is painted this sort of baby blue color. It was while protesting in Los Angeles at a Scientology event, I think it was last year, that LaraFM saw her father for the first time in 5 years. And actually, the last time they spoke, one of the very, very last times, 5 years ago, was recorded on camera, sort of by accident, by a documentary that she was filming at the time. And in this phone conversation, you can clearly hear her father saying to her, if you don't get right by the Church of Scientology and live by their standards and conform to their rules, we can no longer have a relationship. Then he gaslights her and tells her that the choice is yours. So basically, if their relationship falls apart, it's her decision because she chose not to live as a Scientologist anymore, even though she was born and raised right here. There's actually footage of that I can react to a little bit in a future TikTok, but I want to make this one comprehensive story. Let's keep going. Here's a screenshot of that live. It's still up on her channel. Go watch it. Where she is shocked. Can you see the shock on her face that her father, he's pushing, he used to be an executive Scientology, okay? And he's now like doing dishes. He's like pushing some kind of cart around with dishes on it for this event. This moment like went viral in the ex-Scientology community. If you haven't seen it, I'm sure it's all over the place. It was so gut-wrenching on live to see. She was like screaming at him, I love you, and like he ignored her. Oh my gosh, brutal. I haven't spoken to my own mom in 8 years, and I don't have the same upbringing as Lara, but like we're peers in a lot of other regards. Our moms, I think, actually have the same birthday, and we're both disconnected from our family. So like anybody who has any familial, even tension probably, watching it was just like, oh my gosh, it was brutal. Oh, brutal. Okay, flash forward to this year, community stand. There was a big event, just happened June 15th. That was like last weekend, you guys. And a big thing is this was on Father's Day. And this was highlighting LaraFM. And she was there to sing a song to her father, one of her original songs, and it's gorgeous, outside of Big Blue, right? We just talked about that. You can see it kind of in the background down here, because for the first time, I think ever, there was a peaceful protest permit, ooh, that's a lot of P's, applied to L. Ron Hubbard Way. So Scientology gets those permits all the time, but a protest has not gotten that permit. So it was this big thing on Father's Day, and Lara's story was just very central to this. So what happens the night before? Her father has a video put out on one of Scientology's known smear campaign YouTube channels. They just only have videos up there that are tearing down, personal like inside testimony, tearing down critics of Scientology. And so now we have father of Lara, Megan Anderson, LaraFM. Here's Phil. It was a 9-minute video. Most people consider this a POW style video. If you look at the production value, the lighting, the text, all these things, it's very much orchestrated by the Church of Scientology. They have their own television network. You can tell from sort of these slick aspects and elements, not to mention the content, that Phil Anderson, as a servant of Scientology, right? So they feed him, they clothe him, they give him his medical care, they withhold whatever or they give whatever, move him around, all the things. He's separated from his wife. I don't know exactly what happened, but it's very sad, and he was very, very demoted. He is essentially a slave. It's awful, you guys. It's so bad. Anyway, so they pull him out. They do this, and they call it a POW style video because he's going to sit there and he's going to talk crap about his daughter for 9 minutes. Now, it's not totally talking crap, but he's going to lie through his teeth. We don't know. We don't know if he was lied to, or if he's looking through with rose-colored glasses, or if he's being coerced in saying this, or if he believes this. We don't know, right? All we know is what he says, and then Lara responding publicly on a live video on her channel after this. Some of the things he says, and I will do clips in another video because this is already, getting long for short content, but some of the things he says are that she went to a school, a boarding school. Okay, he refers to it as a school. What he fails to mention is that she was born into the Sea Org, the same slavery that he was into. And she was denied an education. She was a kindergartner when she went to this so-called school. It was a ranch. There are known documentation about how terrible this place was, okay? Again, we can get into it, but just take my word for it. Children were fighting over food, punitive. There were offenders of all types sent there to rehabilitate with the children. I mean, come on, you guys, just the worst stuff. And he's like, oh, I had time for her on the weekends, dedicated on the weekends. You guys, let me tell you what that means, okay? Oh, frustrating. According to this document, I know it's kind of blurry or whatever, this man had access to his daughter once a week. He did not live in a home where his daughter, he lived in a dormitory. There was no place for her there. Her home was in this dormitory. They used to have 1 hour a day, right? And that's when these kids were close to their parents, and their parents could take a break in the day or come over. Meanwhile, these parents are working 12 to 14-hour days, 7 days a week. Not an exaggeration, okay? This is legitimate. They signed a billion-year contract because they believe that they need to get Scientology to the planet now, or everything's lost forever, okay? High stakes here. I'm gonna break this document down, but in very Scientologies, it basically says that your job is more important to do Scientology than to parent your kid. Yeah. But you know what? This woman, she did not let that video stop her. The next day, she marched right out there to Big Blue. She stood right there, and she sang her original music, which was so gorgeous. Again, more clips coming. Her lyrics are, I love you, no matter what you do. That's what she's singing to her dad. Okay, guys, that's the story. That's the tea, as one might refer to it as, but this is real lives. Again, a story of a little girl and her dad and a billion-dollar cult, the so-called Church of Scientology. Thanks for watching. Unfortunately, there's more of these coming. It never ends with them, I swear, you guys.